Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this predictions video for the Elimination Chamber. I hope that everyone is well and excited for the show this weekend. Of course, we will be doing the live watch along for what feels like quite a predictable show, but I might regret that because we might be a million miles off with our predictions, but I really didn't struggle with this. Normally I'm having to really think about things, but I didn't really struggle with this one. Although with that being said, I still think there's going to be a massive shock, a massive surprise at the end of the show. We're going to get to that, but let's start with these first, shall we? So what we've got here is the Women's Elimination Chamber match, and I think for many people, Becky is the front runner. Becky is the favorite. Makes a lot of sense. We've been building Becky Rhea for quite a while now, including at the press event for Wrestlemania. So it just seems like it's going that way. I know a lot of people are looking at Liv, and she could definitely still find her way into that match. She may even win this thing, because you could have Liv win this. That sets up Liv versus Rhea, and then Becky could somehow find her way into the match to make it a triple threat. So that could absolutely happen. We could also have Becky win and just set up Becky versus Rhea, and that's it. Or Becky could win and Liv could find her way into that match, again getting us to a triple threat. I think my pick here will be Becky. Second favorite definitely would be Liv. And obviously people want to know who is the missing person. That's going to come courtesy of a Last Chance Battle Royal, I believe. And obviously there was a leaked graphic, and that leaked graphic suggested that the missing person is going to be Jade Cargill. Now, obviously there's a bit of confusion here because Jade didn't seem to sign with SmackDown, so it suggests she may be going to Raw. And one of the big theories was this. Obviously, this was teased at the Royal Rumble, that we were going to be getting Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania. Now, I must admit, I never thought we were going to go that way. I never thought we would get Bianca versus Jade, just because I don't think Jade is ready for a WrestleMania singles match. So actually what I'm thinking is that we're going to do Bianca and Jade as a team taking on the Kabuki Warriors. So how we get to that now is a whole separate thing, because if Jade's going to be over on Raw and if Bianca's over on SmackDown, we know that the tag champs can go from both brands though. So, you know, that kind of helps a little. The fact that they can go to Raw, they can go to SmackDown, they can cause trouble for Bianca, they can cause trouble for Jade. That's maybe a way we can bring Jade and Bianca together to then take on the Kabuki Warriors. So I'm still feeling good about that being the match at WrestleMania, that we do the tag match. Makes a lot more sense. We can always do Jade Bianca a bit further down the road. I'm just not convinced that Jade is ready for that singles match at WrestleMania. So yeah, a few thoughts here in regards to the Elimination Chamber. I've got Becky winning, Liv as second favorite, and I think somehow we get Jade and Bianca working as a team and working towards WrestleMania. Next match we've got is this. It's the tag match. So this is Judgment Day taking on New Catch Republic. Really not keen on that name. This to me is a showcase match. It's a way of getting Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate on the card and really cemented as a team. Obviously the qualifying matches, their victory over DIY, very impressive. And so this is just a great way of showcasing them. I don't think it's anything more than that. I don't expect them to be champions, or certainly not yet. R-Truth might get involved here. I do expect R-Truth to be a future opponent of the Judgment Day, because obviously they've beaten him down. He made it quite clear on the other day on SmackDown that he is aware that he is out of Judgment Day now. He didn't help Dominic. He was quite clearly rooting for Kevin Owens in that qualifying match. So I think it's quite clear that the message has got through to R-Truth that he is out of the Judgment Day. So I'm thinking like maybe the Awesome Truth could be the opponents for Judgment Day at WrestleMania. Either way, can't see Judgment Day losing the titles here. I think it's just a showcase for Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to kind of really establish them as a proper team that you need to take serious. Next, we got the men's Elimination Chamber match. Again, feels quite simple, quite straightforward. I've got Drew McIntyre winning this. The other thing that I think could come out of it, though, is I think Logan and LA Knight. Now, we've been talking about this for the longest time, that this could be the match at WrestleMania. They're both in the chamber at the same time. Makes a lot of sense for them to get in each other's way. A lot like how the Royal Rumble can create moments and potential WrestleMania matches. I feel like the Chamber has got the ability to do that as well. We just spoke about Jade and Bianca. Well, we could absolutely start the build now for LA Knight and Logan Paul. So I'm still going to say that this is the direction that we're going. I know that AJ Styles and LA Knight have kind of been getting in each other's way, so definitely got an eye on that. But this is what I expected for WrestleMania, and I'm gonna stick with it, right? But yeah, I think that Drew wins the Chamber, and I did ask people as to what they thought was going to be in the future plans for Randy Orton, and I've had so many different answers. I've got some people saying that he's going to face Solo. I've got some people saying that he is going to face Drew. I've got some people saying he's not going to have a match, he's just going to be there for Cody. I've got some people saying he might find his way into the World Heavyweight title. There's no concrete or clear and obvious way forward for Randy Orton. I think there's lots of ways that you can use him. So, to be honest, that's the one that I'm still sort of scratching my head at. But as we said, feel good about LA Knight and Logan and them meeting at WrestleMania. Feel good about Drew being the winner here. Bobby, I think, he's in a feud, or at least was, with the Final Testament. Of course, Bobby and the Prophets and B-Fab. I'm sure that's going to play out that way. Kevin Owens is a little bit tricky as well. Kevin Owens and what the plans are for him. You'll have to let me know what you think about that one down in the comments below. There's definitely a few options for him. But at the moment, again, very similar to Randy Orton, nothing quite clear for him right now. That then brings us to what some people think could be the main event. It could be. I'm not sure it's going to close the show. I think there's every chance it's the last match that we get. But I think the Seth and Cody, Grayson, Waller effect segment could actually be what closes the show. So we've got Rhea Ripley against Nia Jax. There's no way Rhea Ripley's losing this. I would imagine that Rhea Ripley wins and maybe Becky comes out to confront Rhea for a real OMG, they're face-to-face kind of a moment. Obviously, Becky winning the Chamber, we believe, earlier in the day. So that's my thoughts on this one. Pretty straightforward. Can't see Nia getting the win here. And then that brings us to this segment now. This segment, I think, is really, really interesting because it's a talk show segment, and I'm sure they're gonna cook, and I'm sure that Grayson's gonna cause some drama. I also wonder if the Bloodline, Solo, Jimmy, maybe Paul Heyman, come down and make their presence felt. I'm not sure about The Rock. To my knowledge, he's not advertised. Roman seemed to suggest to me the other day he wasn't going. He certainly was not scheduled to be here. And actually, there was a little backstage clip where he asked Paul Heyman, do I have to go? Heyman said no, and he was very relieved. So I don't think we get Roman. But I think there's a chance that we get Solo, Jimmy, maybe Heyman, maybe The Rock, maybe, but probably not. But either way, I think there'll be some sort of confrontation here with the Bloodline, with Cody, with Seth. We did hear Roman tell Paul Heyman to make sure that Cody and Seth acknowledged him. One of the ways that Heyman can do that is by sending Solo and Jimmy to confront these two. Obviously, it's going to get physical as well, as you would imagine. But this is where things get really interesting, because at this point, we may get one more match, an unannounced match, right? And to be honest, I've not seen people talking about this, but I'm going to walk you through it, right? So Drew, we think, is going to win the Chamber. Seth, of course, is not quite medically cleared, but he is meant to be medically cleared at any point now, right? He wasn't medically cleared to the point where he could have a match announced for Elimination Chamber, but everything he's been saying is that he's been hoping that he should be actually medically cleared around this time, right? So there is a chance that he is able to actually compete at Elimination Chamber, but WWE just not comfortable with actually announcing a match for him in advance. And so there is a thought that Drew could provoke Seth into a title match on this show. Remember, there is no title match, undisputed title match from Roman on this show. Seth does not have an announced match for this show. So at the moment, there is no world title match on the men's side. The only world title match we've got is Rhea. Rhea is the only world title match that's been announced for this show. So this being like a shock, oh my God, is it going to happen type moment. Drew coming down, provoking Seth, maybe saying some stuff about Becky, maybe saying some stuff about Rue, really pushing the buttons of Seth. You know that Seth, when he's provoked, will lash out. And, you know, could it be a case that Drew could get a match? I can already sense many of you going, what are you on about? What are you talking about? There's no way this is going to happen. But look at this. This coming from WrestleFeed. Now, if you don't know WrestleFeed, they don't claim to have sources. They just take information from PW Insider, from Wrestling Observer. They just take this information from other places. This was from 9 days ago, right? And plans do change. We have to remember that. Plans do change. But 9 days ago, it said, at last night's WrestleMania 40 kickoff press conference, so the day after that, right? World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins was hoping that the Men's Royal Rumble winner, Cody Rhodes, would choose him as his WrestleMania opponent, but Cody chose WWE Champion Roman Reigns. According to the Wrestling Observer, the current plan is for the Men's Elimination Chamber match to take place in Australia on February 24th, with the winner of that match facing Rollins on the same night for the world title. The belief is that Rollins will defend against the winner of the Men's Chamber match on that same show. But such a match has not been announced, and it couldn't be announced since they were teasing Cody versus Seth, and announcing this match wouldn't have made any sense in the coming weeks. So what they're saying is that all the stuff that's been happening has meant that you can't really announce that the winner of the Chamber is going to be facing Seth Rollins. There was too much other stuff that they've been dealing with. I don't know if plans will have changed. I don't know, first of all, if Wrestling Observer are going to be right about this, right? Then I don't know if plans haven't changed. So there are definitely unknowns here, right? But the idea of Seth facing the winner of the Chamber at Elimination Chamber is not impossible, right? It's not impossible. We've done it before. Where we had, I think, wasn't it going back to like 2021? We had the Chamber winner going up against the champion on that same show. So there is a precedent. We have done it before. And the big question is, if the match happens, if we get Drew versus Seth, who wins? Who would leave as champion? And honestly, I think Drew would have a great shout, because if the Bloodline are at ringside, they can cost Seth. That's going to build more heat between Seth and the Bloodline. Drew would have the belt. He could go to WrestleMania and defend against Sami Zayn, who is down on his luck at the moment and has never beaten Drew. So Sammy could have an opportunity. Maybe Randy could get an opportunity, right? So there's options, and it frees up Seth to do whatever we need to do with him at WrestleMania. If Seth's going to be involved with The Rock, if he's going to be in a tag match, or even if he's going to have a singles match with The Rock, I don't think he needs the belt. I don't think it's about the belt. This has been built on disrespect. The Rock feels like his family has been disrespected. And so this isn't about getting the World Heavyweight Championship. It's about getting even. So I think that if we do the tag match on night 1, then obviously that would suggest that Seth is going to have to defend his world title on night 2. Because you've got to defend the World Heavyweight Championship, and you're not going to do it in the tag match. So if you get the belt off of Seth, you don't have that headache then. It does make sense. It does make sense. So I am looking at this thinking, if it goes this way, I think there is a chance that Drew McIntyre could win that World Heavyweight Championship. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out these predictions. Again, share your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget, we will be live for Elimination Chamber with whatever goes down. And hopefully it's not just going to be boring and predictable. Hopefully there will be some twists and turns that we have been promised. And maybe this is one of them.